Hello, my name is Joyce Giles, and I'm so glad to be feeling a lot better. I am have provided interpersonal communication project regarding the importance of being able to communicate effectively. Um, with my goal, right now I work as a therapist on the detox unit with Horizon Behavior Health. We open up this new unit the 1st of April 2017. Um, I have always felt that over the last 13 years that I'm finally in a place in my life where I'm very optimistic about my future, being able to work with individuals who are struggling with substance abuse. Not only do I feel that it's a ministry that has been placed within me to be able to reach out to those that are still struggling and suffering, but from my own personal experience, on Saturday, September the 9th, celebrated 14 years of sobriety. So I have been through uh, some times that have been very not so good. But I'm grateful to God that He has brought me thus far on my journey. So I take um, my job, or better yet, may I say, my ministry, very seriously. And because I am dealing with people's lives and communication, as we can see, as we know, has been around since the beginning of time. Um, it is very important that when you are communicating, that the information that you are trying to give out to any individual, you want it to be uh, you want it to be understandable, and you also want people to be able to relate to what you're saying. Um, you don't want to in any way appear to be prejudiced or biased. Um, and those are some of the things that we tend, sometimes our minds flood with things that are not really professionally when we're dealing with clients, especially those that may come through our unit, you know, more than once, more than twice, you know, more than 3 times. So I think that with communication, even if it's verbal or non-verbal, we have to be very conscious of what type of message we are trying to um, express or relay to people when we are talking to them. Not only in my workplace, but with family. I mean, out in the community when I'm at the grocery store, you know, shopping, and I always, if I don't have something positive or to say to someone or encouraging, then I try to keep my thoughts to myself. A lot of times, the issue that I find that is sort of a stumbling stone for me is a lot of times I can get caught up in my own mind, you know, thinking about, you know, maybe on my problems or what may be going on with me instead of totally focusing on the conversation that I may be having with a client. Um, Sometimes I feel like, you know, am I really in this room having this conversation, or is my mind, you know, with a family member or at home, things I could be doing, or in that incidents. And then something else that I've learned from this course as well is that um, I need to be more cautious of listening thoroughly as what is being said to me during a counseling session. I am just one of those ones that are so quick to jump in and say, um, offer my suggestions or sort of turn the focus on me. And it wasn't really until I took this course that it's really caused me to examine my every action, my every word, all of those things that are important um, for me as a professional. I'm hoping that um, a lot of times, well, I'm hoping that I've got two more courses, and at the end of that time, I'm hoping that I'll receive my master's with my focus on addiction and recovery. Already have certification in substance abuse counseling, and also have been recognized nationally as certified addiction counselor. So this course, well, this study that I'm doing at Liberty will sort of promote or enhance what I already have. So um, I am just very grateful for the opportunity that has been given to me. Uh, Looking back over my life over 13 years ago, I just never thought where I am today was possible. Um, but I find that a lot of times as far as communication barriers, I feel like there could be a lot of barriers as to why communication does not come off as we expected it to. And a lot of times it could be due to language barriers. It could be distractions. It could be cultural differences. People definitely are raised in different environments. They have different beliefs, that sort of thing. And then maybe sometimes people are not quite as in tune with our body languages. Sometimes, we don't have to really say anything, but whomever you're communicating with could notice, your facial expressions and eye contact and just the way that you're presenting yourself just through body language. I know sometimes that I've been told that I need a poker face because sometimes how I feel or what I'm thinking, it's a lot of time it's displayed on my face. And I've had many coworkers say, well, you seem kind of confused, or you look like that you're being distracted or something to that nature. So it's very important as to how we present ourselves, not only to our coworkers or people that, in my case, work with individuals. We want to be very cautious of how we are presenting. And a lot of times I know that my focus mostly is on women who struggle with substance abuse, and sometimes, um, you know, you're kind of stunned as to what you're going to say, or what can I say to encourage this person? What can I do to let them know that everything is going to be okay? And sometimes it can be a tough job, because you don't want someone to get a negativity coming from your group session or individual session. You want to be able, for the short time that I work with them, I want to be able to make some type of impact so that, or plant seeds as, uh, to say it in another way. And I want to plant seeds of positivity. I want to plant seeds of encouragement. I want to be able to um, send that person on their way with uh, sort of I'm thinking of the word I'm trying to use, but more of a positive outlook on life, better than what they came into the unit. And I say that because most of the time, my ministry or my job now, it involves a lot of people. And Lynchburg is a very small place. And I mean, you may run into people in the grocery store that you may be serving in the community, you know. So I always try to have something encouraging to say, if it's no more than, hey, you're looking great today, you know, seems like you've been taking care of yourself, you know, that sort of thing. And I also want to be sympathetic as well as empathetic, because we at any given time, we don't know what people are going through, what they've been through, or where they're going. Um, so we have to be very sensitive in our communication skills and what we're trying to say to someone. And we don't want to be the quick person to jump in and say and distract the individual to say that you're not concerned about what they have to say, or what they're going through. So through this course, I have learned that I need to be a lot quieter and just listen more. And that, as I always say, is that's why we have two ears and one mouth, just to be able to listen uh, effectively as to what's being said. You know, that is the um, key problem that I find that I have to definitely work on. And some of the materials that I've read about the listener and the talker, when it's your time to listen, and when it's your time to talk, and also that process of inhaling and exhaling, I love, because a conversation, a lot of times people do not look at it that way, but it's an ongoing uh, experience where you are really, when someone's talking to you, then you are inhaling what they're saying, focusing on what they're saying, focusing on solutions, focusing on what the next thing is going to be. Um, and then when you do begin to communicate with that person, then you're exhaling, you're giving them your encouragement, your suggestions, your recommendations, that sort of thing. So I think it will be an ongoing process for me. But definitely this course has definitely opened my eyes uh, about how I communicate and what is needed in order to be an effective communicator, whether it's through verbal contact or whether it's written. You want to be able to make sure that what is being said is understood and taken in a positive way and not a negative way. The steps that I plan to take in order to enlarge or my conversation, or to make a goal and a reality, I have these little cards, listener and talker cards that came in um, Peterson book that I had read about, Why Don't We Listen? Um, I'm planning on posting those cards on my computer, on the wall, anywhere where it needs to be a reminder, even on my um, um, notepad, where I take with me every week when we have weekly staff meetings, even if it's just to post there and just say, you know, okay, let's listen to what's being said. Let's be open-minded. And if there's nothing positive or encouraging that I can say, then I need not say anything at all. And so communication is it's the way of life. It's a way of living, whether we're talking to children, whether we're talking to adults, whether we're talking to prospective CEO, or whether we're talking to a homeless person. Communication is always it's a very important piece that we all humans share. Whether some people use, for those people that are not able to hear or talk, then there's sign languages, and so there are various forms of communication. But we want our communication. I want my communication to be one that is inviting, that it's interesting, and that it can engage the audience that I'm trying to capture. Professor Barker, before I close this video, I want to personally thank you for your prayers, for your encouragement during this course. This semester has been a very rough semester for me, especially with my health and dealing with pancreatitis and with work, and just trying to get my strength together, and just trying to come to grips to the sudden sickness that I've had this semester. Normally, I'm a very healthy person. There is no, I haven't had any problems. So this semester has been really trying, and I've been a little frustrated. I've been anxious, um, just been not myself. But I am just grateful to God that today that I am feeling much better. I'm getting stronger each day. Um, so with that said, God bless you. Thank you again. And it is only through this course that my eyes have been opened about how important communication skills are, not only in the professional life, but also in everyday living, ordinary living. And I thank you for that, and God bless you.